Hey guys, this is Batman 1999 doing part 2 to the, hang on a sec, the truth behind Chuck E. Cheese's creepypasta by Mr. Nightmare. Now this is part 2. I've already done part 1. Now this is not a part 2 and part 1 video. This is a full-length video that's like 26 minutes and 21 seconds. But I'm doing part 2 and part 1 because I don't have the time to do just the whole video and react to it and do all the stuff. So let's just go ahead and make long story short and start it back. So let's go ahead and start it back.
Like this. They made this thing too realistic. I spent the next few hours sitting there uncomfortably with the robot's eyes watching me. I was thinking about what the girl had said. Your job is more than meets the eye? And that weird guy. Get out of here while you still can? What the fuck does that mean? Are they planning on killing me or something? A stupid nerd. He's probably just trying to be an asshole. I checked my watch repeatedly, anxious to get out of there. I was waiting for somebody to come in and tell me that I could leave like the previous night, but nobody came in. It was 10 o'clock exactly, so I decided to just leave. I walked out the back door of the stage and left it open in case somebody needed to get in there and turn off the robots. As I walked toward the exit of the building, I realized that there wasn't anyone in sight. Some lights had already been shut. I guess they closed pretty quickly. I was sure there was a manager somewhere closing up, so I felt it safe to leave. During my walk home, I reflected on the whole situation. How fast I was hired, how weird my job is, all the stares from the other employees, and the strange comments people are making about me. I started to think, if they weren't going to have a show tonight, why did they need me to come in? Why not just turn off the robots? Why did they need me to come in and watch them for 6 hours? What the hell was I watching? I really wasn't comfortable with the job anymore, and decided that the next day I would go in and tell John the manager that I'm not interested in staying. That night, while laying in bed, I tried to think about other places that I could work, but the thought of the Chucky robot staring at me kept coming up. I don't know why. I mean, it seemed obvious that the robots had advanced interactive technology. It was a little too advanced. That was the last thought I could remember before drifting off to sleep. I woke up at around 3 in the morning again, to the same disturbing laughter coming from outside my window. This time, it was closer, a lot closer. My heart started pounding in my chest. The person I saw last night was back again seemingly to harass me. I had to confront this person, so I got on my feet and put my hand under the blind, gathering the courage to pull it up. With one instant boost of courage, I jerked the blind up to reveal it. It was the face of the Chuck E. Cheese mascot, standing right outside my window, looking right at me, with the same smile I had seen in the Chuck E. Cheeses. I almost jumped out of my skin in fear. I stumbled backward on something on the floor, causing me to fall to the ground. I barely managed to get back up on my feet. Then, realizing that the face at the window was gone, I grabbed the blind handle and yanked it down. I sat down on my bed to try and comprehend what just happened. Somebody was pulling a prank on me. Those assholes. They followed me home and threw a Chucky costume on just to scare me. I knew they were all assholes. The way they stared at me, whispered as I passed by, and the strange comments. I bet it was all that stupid fucking nerd I saw earlier that day. I'm probably some kind of pawn in one big prank. That's why they hired me so quickly. But why? Why me? What did I do? I decided first thing in the morning I would go back to the place and give John the manager a piece of my mind, and tell him I would sue if they continued to harass me. That night, I had trouble falling asleep after that. It was probably hours before I had actually managed to fall back asleep, only to wake up early the next morning. I took a quick shower, skipped breakfast, and stormed out the front door, walking back to the Chuck E. Cheese's. When I arrived there were 3 cop cars parked outside, along with crime scene tape covering the entrance to the place. What the hell is going on here? I thought. I asked a police officer what happened, and he told me that one of the animatronic characters had been stolen from the place the previous night. Who the hell would steal one of these things, and how? I thought to myself. It sure didn't seem like a crime scene to me. It just seemed flat out ridiculous.
Bro.
This whole situation, ever since I started at this job, something has been going on. Something's not right with this place. But I did not want to get to the bottom of it. I just wanted to get away from it. I walked back home and looked up this particular Chuck E. Cheese on Google. Conveniently, there was a phone number for the manager, only it didn't say John. It was some man named George Mayhew. I thought that was strange, but I called the number anyway. Voicemail. I left a message stating what was on my mind and hung up. I hoped that would end that. Then I realized, fuck, I still have to get paid. I put myself in a really awkward position now, since I still had to go back to collect my payment. Ugh, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow, I told myself. Besides all of that, the rest of the day went slow and normal. It wasn't until night that I found out that my dad was working the night shift. My mom was already staying the night with my grandma, who was feeling ill.
Oh god, he's by
I had the
himself.
house to myself. I could have had a few friends over and stuff, but I wasn't in any mood for that. I needed time to myself to reflect on what was up with that Chuck E. Cheese. Who the hell steals animatronics? I mean, I guess they're worth something, but to go through that effort, why not rob a jewelry store or something? Whatever, not my problem anymore. That night, I was ready to call the police if the pranksters returned. I kept my cell phone on overnight next to my bed, ready to dial 911. I stayed up late watching TV, dreading having to fall asleep. I watched TV until about 2 in the morning, before finally trying to fall asleep. But I couldn't. My mind was racing. I rolled around in my bed for a good hour, not even remotely tired. My brain was waiting for the laughing from outside, or some kind of knock on the window. So much to the point that I started to become paranoid. I started to imagine sounds like some kind of squeaking noise. I started to imagine seeing things. I thought I could see the silhouette of a figure in the opposite corner of my room.
God,
I
I
told
hate Chuck
myself
E.
to
Cheese
stop
now.
being paranoid and to
Even
just go
more.
to sleep. Somehow, I did calm myself down a bit, almost enough to finally fall asleep. I was finally relaxed until... What the fuck? Who the hell is calling this late at night? I checked the
Don't
caller
answer the...
ID. It said unknown number. To hell, like I was going to answer that. I put my cell phone back on my desk and rolled back onto my side. I was so close to falling asleep, and now I was wide awake again. I knew I didn't answer the phone because I was partially afraid to. It was probably about a minute or two later when I heard the voicemail tone go off on my phone. The caller had left a message. I truthfully did not want to listen to it. I told myself to listen to it first thing in the morning, but then a sickening thought came up that the call was to inform of bad news of my ill grandmother. I snatched the phone, flipped it open, and pressed the button to listen to the voicemail. I heard an oh-so-familiar voice. It was John, the manager from Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm sorry. Truly, this is nothing personal. You have to understand, we needed you. We needed someone. He's getting hungry. He needs to eat, or else... Listen to me. Listen to me when I tell you your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Understand that we only do this to save humanity. We can't kill it. Our attempts only anger it.
I apologize for that, guys. Somebody yelled for me.
Oh, God. We never planned on it escaping. We needed it to consume only in the room backstage. Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
What the fuck was that? What? The joke has gone far enough. This is completely fucking insane. I have to call the police. I jumped out of my bed and turned on my lamp, anxious to call the police. I dial 911 and raise the phone to my ear. It's only then that I see it. It was the creature. The rat. It was Chucky, standing in the corner of my room, smiling at me. I heard the 911 operator on the other end, but the phone was already on the ground by that time. I felt my stomach churning inside, my hand still to my ear as if I were still holding my phone. I couldn't move. The creature opened its mouth, wider than any creature could, and started to slowly move toward me. I was trapped. The only way out was through the window. I pulled up the blind, and then pulled up my window. I looked behind me. The creature was just a few feet away from me at that point. I jumped out of my window and ran as far away as possible. A few hours later, I walked back to my house, remembering I had dialed 911, so I expected some cops to be there. I was right. My dad's car was in the driveway, too. I explained to them that a man wearing a Chuck E. Cheese costume with a knife broke into the house, and he trapped me in my room, so I had to jump out of my window. I explained to them that I had just started working at the Chuck E. Cheese nearby, and that everything was weird from the start there. They assured me that the place would be investigated, and after a few questions, they were on their way. They did send another patrol car to watch the house for the night. The next day, police were investigating the building and made a gruesome discovery. In the hidden room near the back of the place were the dead corpses of 5 teenagers. All were barely identified as the teenagers reported missing in the news. The place was shut down, but nothing was ever heard from John the manager, or whatever his real name is. After that, the creature never returned to my house. I knew something was off with that place from the start. Of course, I had to improvise a bit with my story. I couldn't tell the police that a giant mouse was trying to eat me. But what kills me the most is knowing that the creature is still out there somewhere, and every so often, I wake up in the night and just barely, I think I can make out the sound of high-pitched laughter coming from the woods. Well, I've never told this story to anyone before. Now you know the horrors that go on in Chuck E. Cheese's. And if you're lucky enough to ever find yourself stuck in one in the future, just remember, that animatronic mouse you see on the stage may be more than meets the eye.
Bro. Oh my god, dude. That is just so... Oh my god. That was well done. Mr. Nightmare done that very well. I had never heard a creepypasta until now. So that was very freaking well done. I thought they was gonna go, oh, this is gonna be a Five Nights at Freddy's thing, you know. They're just gonna be in the Chuck E. Cheese's, and then the monsters are gonna come out and try to kill. No, that was actually well done. It was not like Five Nights at Freddy's at all. The animatronic being alive, that was Five Nights at Freddy's, but that was about the only thing. As I was gonna do, my experience with Chuck E. Cheese's, I'm gonna hurry this up because I don't like doing videos over 15 minutes. My experience with Chuck E. Cheese's, what happened, I was about 8 years old, maybe about 140 pounds, maybe less than that, maybe a little more, I don't know, I don't remember, but anyway, the reason, that'll be important here in just a minute. The employee there was very, very rude to me. Every time I would go in there, he was always rude, and it was not just the employee, it was the manager, and those animatronics was creepy anyway. And the pizza, one time they gave me a pizza, and it had hairs in it like everywhere. So we gave them back the pizza. They gave us our money back. But what really pissed me off was told by one of the employees that I was too fat and I could not go up on that playset thing that they had in the building. And I hate Chuck E. Cheese's to this day because of that. And I found out that employee actually knew my family and done something very creepy. He got a Chuck E. Cheese plush and Chucky, put it in a box, put it up in, wrapping paper and sent it to the house. I didn't know what it was. Well, I opened the box and Chucky was there. What creeped me out was the fact that, how did this guy get our address? Well, anyway, it's a long story. I hate Chuck E. Cheese's, won't go back there again, and this story makes it even worse. Anyway, guys, this is Batman 1999. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, like it. If you didn't, keep it to yourself. Be sure to check out my friend Monkey Mars 84848. And be sure to check out my friend Jeremy Anon Entertainment, Blasphemous HD, and Shartimus Prime. Be sure to check out all those guys out. And hope you liked this video. If you did, like it. If you didn't, keep it to yourself. And have a good day, guys. Peace.